Hey guys, how you doing? This is NickStar, and this is NickStar Tips. The tip on laundry, part three. There's probably going to be a fourth part when I finish up the load of laundry that I have going right now. But I wanted to show you something in the meantime, and please excuse some of the mess only because I recently moved here and I had to move a lot of my stuff here, and so I've still got to organize some stuff. But I wanted to show you this very specifically. Um, That basically, when you have dirty clothes, it's best to separate them. Separate them into the ways that you're going to um, wash them. So, like you see here, white socks separated, okay? And whenever I take off my socks, I turn them inside out. So basically, when I wash them, the inside, the part that gets the dirtiest, from basically I'm a human being, as we all are human beings. If we work throughout the day, our body expels things through our feet, through you know through our skin, through sweat, or so whatever toxins or whatever else comes out into our clothes. So I turn my socks inside out because that's the part that's getting the dirtiest, and therefore I can wash them like that. But see, I have a one specific smaller uh, hamper, for my socks, for my white socks. Then I have another one specifically for like my colored socks and stuff like that. So I'm not mixing the two. And plus, I bleach my socks. I can't bleach those because there's some blues and reds and blacks in there, and basically it'll turn like socks brown. And then I have a third one. These are some sheets and stuff like that, that are separate. And then over here is where I would normally put, in this one I would normally put like comforters and other bigger stuff, even sheets and stuff. But right now, since I'm still moving and organizing some stuff, I'm using it for just regular clothes. And this other one is, extra dirty clothes that I need to clean. So basically, I've just switched those hampers, but that's a minute detail. But anyway, it's very important to have specific hampers for your clothes if you can do that. Not everybody can do that. And I like plastic. People have different things that they use for hampers, but I think that this is an ideal way, very efficient, to keep your dirty clothes. Just that's, I guess, all I'll say about that for right now. Um, and another thing is like, see one of my comforters, separate. And I want to go over this. Some of my clothes, I put, like I have all kinds of specific types of clothes, and ideally, I want to fold them and stuff, but sometimes I don't have time. I'll put them into one of these, uh, like tubs here, and I'll get to it later or whatever. But ideally, this is what you want to do as well, is hang your clothes. So as you see, yeah, my clothes are hanged. But right when they come out of the dryer is the best time to hang your clothes because then they're not going to wrinkle as much as if you let them sit and then the wrinkles just set in. So if you can bring them straight out of the dryer, set them to the side, hang them one by one. Like with this collar shirt, you see how I button it up all the way so I can have the straightest lines and stuff like that. Same for like this shirt, my dress shirt, stuff like that is, the basically, even shorts, I hang those and stuff so they can have good, even regular, shirts, they can be the best wrinkle free, and these shirts, and all my clothes, they're soft, they're nice, they don't rub against my skin in a harsh way or anything like that. And I didn't use a bit of fabric softener. No fabric softener. They feel perfectly soft, perfectly fine. So I really don't see the need of using fabric softener ever. or dryer sheets ever. Now, I understand about static electricity and stuff like that, but that goes away. It really does go away, and you might get a tiny shock here and there. Which, if you don't want to get shock, okay, fine. Use a dryer sheet. And I fully understand, but it's just extra chemicals. If you can, I guess deal with a little shock here and there, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. Obviously, to each their own. But this is just my advice, my tip. That basically just don't use any extra added chemicals to your clothes, because that's getting on your body if you can help it. Because things like that can cause skin conditions and stuff. But I wanted to go over this just very quickly. Hang your clothes right when they get out of the dryer, because it's going to prevent wrinkles and stuff like that. Ideally, you want to also fold other clothes that you can't necessarily hang, or you're not necessarily hanging, instead of sticking them in a huge tub and getting to them later. So this doesn't exactly speak well to me, but I do have some socks in there. I have some underwear, and I have some other stuff, some other specialty clothing and stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be, folded. Like, I've got some armbands and stuff, and some headbands and stuff like that, that don't need to be folded, so, what's the use? And just separate your dirty clothes, because, like, this, let me point it out very specifically. If you're washing your white socks with your colored socks, right, and you're bleaching, or you're not bleaching, the colors can mix, and also, you might use them for different purposes. Like, if I go rollerblading or something like that, and, I don't know, say, I get really, I accidentally get into a grassy area or something. This is a bad example, but, or if I'm running and I run through a grassy area or something, and I'm wearing dark socks, and they get all kinds of, like, grass or whatever on them or whatever, and I get the grass off and stuff, but there's still a lot of debris on them and stuff, and they're colored socks. Then I don't want that mixing into my white socks type of thing, because maybe I use my white socks, for, like, when it is my best socks or something, for dressing up, for maybe going to work or whatever, and that's more particular type stuff. But also, you have to think about where your socks are on your body. They're on your feet, right? It's just like your underwear is, around your midsection. So you can wash, like, your underwear with other stuff, but what I'm saying is, like, with socks, they're on your feet. So you have to understand that when you're washing your socks with the rest of your clothes, it's like washing stuff that you might, it's like washing socks and underwear together. It's like you're putting what was on your feet on your, mid, section where your underwear would go, or on your chest where your shirt would go, or, and you're kind of mixing all that up, and I think it's just best to keep everything separate, and there's a great clearing of the mind to know that, you can very specifically clean, and know that, your clothes are clean, the different types of clothes that you have, and just have a system about it. I mean, to me, it's very, I don't know, it makes me feel good. Now I do want to let you know, to a certain extent, I can understand how this can, seem like, something like OCD or something like that. But you have to understand that what OCD is, obsessive compulsive disorder, is taking something too far. So basically taking it to an extent that it does not need to go. Basically not having a rhyme to your reason, not having a purpose to your methods, stuff like that. As you see here, I have purpose to the method. It's not taking it too far. Like, obviously, if I'm bleaching my white socks, I'm not going to mix them with my dark socks, or red socks or blue socks or whatever, because basically those socks are going to turn brown. Now, if somebody calls me OCD for that, I'm going to tell them, okay, you can have brown socks, because, I'm going to remain, doing my socks this way, because I don't want brown socks. Or, like, if, you don't separate, a comforter from your other sheets, it might not get the comforter clean. Or, if you're mixing, heavier clothes like pants or something, and with lighter clothes that might actually rip. so you got to be careful because, like, the consequences of doing your clothes non-specifically is clothes can rip, clothes may not get clean, the dye from clothes can change. I mean, especially when you're bleaching things. And you can mix things. I mean, I don't like the idea of my socks being in the same load that my underwear is. I don't like that idea. you know, um, because I wear my socks on my feet and I wear my underwear and around my midsection and I just like feeling confident that I don't know I'm washing them for two different purposes, two different parts of the body, and I feel good about that. But anyway, hopefully I didn't speak too much on this topic. Like I said, separate your clothes. Because of the consequences, they can tear. The dye can change. Your clothes to like brown or another color. Yeah. What was the other one? Yeah, they can rip. The dye can change. There was something else, but I already said it. And yeah, your clothes might not be getting clean if you add too much clothes, like sheets to regular clothes, or say that you're. This is another thing to pay attention to. If you've just bought towels, sometimes those towels need to be washed before they're mixed with other clothes or anything like that. And usually, I wash my towels. I just wash my towels all together, and I bleach my towels. And let me show you this. This will actually help with this whole thing. And I'm going to go over this in my video on showering and cleaning yourself and hygiene and stuff like that. If you see this towel right here, this is for the upper half of my body, okay? And I use this towel maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times. And it hangs, and that way the bacteria doesn't develop and all that stuff. And then I use this for my midsection and lower, and then I use this one, this rag right here for my feet. So everything is separate, okay? You see? And you can reuse the same towel. So instead of using one towel for your entire body one time, and then laying it on the floor, for it to collect all that bacteria and even mold and stuff, and then drying yourself, maybe washing it or something, and drying it, and then using it again to dry yourself. That towel might be the most disgusting thing that you own. I mean, and then I could only imagine those people that do all that stuff with that one towel, dry the floor, dry themselves, and all that stuff, and then reuse it without washing it. I could only imagine. So this is another beneficial tool right here. Upper body, lower body, feet. Okay? I'm just, these are my tips, okay? I'm going to go over this one more with the whole showering and hygiene thing, but if you hang your towels and you have to really, like stretch them out, make sure that, they're not crumpled up or anything like that, you can use them 3, 4, 5 times without any problem, without any, development of bacteria. And usually you can tell bacteria because there's going to be a smell or something. And like I said, and I see this one right here. When I wash clothes, I only wash these together, just like with my socks. I don't wash these with my socks, but I only wash these rags together because this is the rag that I use to dry my feet, okay? And these towels, lower body, upper body, I wash together, but usually I bleach all 3 of these to prevent any bacteria or mold or anything from developing, so I know that when I dry my body, that my body is getting clean and that I'm not putting on additional mold or bacteria or fungus or anything that might happen. And like I said, not a lot of people think about things like this. But, and over the years, I've had to, learn some of this the hard way because, I would have to go to a doctor or something because I'd have a rash or a skin condition and I wouldn't know where it was coming from. And they would tell me, that basically it's something you're wearing or da-da-da-da-da. But then I started playing around. I started doing my research. I started trying things in a different way, doing experiments with, clothes and what I'm eating and da-da-da-da-da. But, You know, a lot of things make sense if you sit down and you examine what you're doing. If you have a rash on your skin, on your epidermis, think about it. Okay, what is going on your skin? You know, you have to think about what is coming in contact with your skin. Okay? Um, and I do apologize. I'm just, rummaging around or going around with this. But you have to think what's going on your skin. You know, so like this shirt, you know, if I had fabric softener or something on it, then, you know, is that chemical burning my skin? That's something I have to think about, you know, because if I didn't know any better and then I went to a dermatologist and they see all the redness or something from, you know, the fabric softener, they'll be like, something's irritating your skin, and it's something to pay attention to. But anyway, I'm going to end this video. This has been part 3 of the NickStar tips on laundry. And I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. And please, please use this information to your benefit. If you have any comments or suggestions or advice or anything like that, please let me know. I'll see you in the next one. I am going to do a part 4 when I finish up the load that I have going. And that'll conclude the laundry portion of NickStar tips. Okay. See you in the next one.